Hi, this is Annette Sullivan from Lavender Thoughts. Today I've got a couple of fun fold cards for you, looking quite different but actually made with the same set of measurements. So this particular one here opens out like this, so you can see like so, stands up like that. And this one is closed with a belly band, and when you open it out, it sits like that. But if you have a look at the back, you can see that they've got the same score lines and the same cutting marks, and they just create different looks. So today I'm going to show you how to make both of them. And here's our first one. So I've actually cut out all the little pieces so that we've got it all ready. So the first thing we do is we want a piece of cardstock that is 20 by 14.8 centimetres. And I've got the inches measurements here too. And I'll just leave that there so you can have a look at that, and they will actually be in the blog post too. So what we're going to do to start with is we're going to score at 5 centimetres. And 15 centimetres. And we're going to turn it the other way and line it up at 3.5 centimetres. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut in between that 5 and 15 score line. I'll just line that up there. I'm going to flip it round, line it up at 3.5 centimetres on the other side, and do exactly the same. Cut from the 15 down to the 5. And that's it. Oh no, it's not. We need a couple more scores. So the first one we're going to do is at 7.5. And for this one, we're only going to score on the inside of that cutting. So and then we're going to go to 10 centimetres, and we're going to score on the outside of those cutting lines. And then we're going to go to 12.5, and again we're just going to score on the inside. Okay, so that's it for our cutting. So as you can see, we've got a score line at 5 all the way down, a score line at 15 all the way down, and then we're going to come down 3.5 centimetres and cut to those two score lines, and then go back and score 7.5 on the inside, 10 on the outside, and 12.5 on the inside. And to put it together, this is going to be the one we're making. I don't think I can fit it in the frame as well, so I'll just give you a quick look there. So the first thing we're going to do is to burnish our score lines. And we're going to take these two outside ones to come out, and the inside ones to go the other way. Oops, no, I've done that the wrong way. So they also come out. So there's our folds, and to burnish all those lines properly. We'll just fold it up like that. And give it a good score. As you can see, I haven't got that straight on the back. So I'll just open that out again. And just fix up our burnished marks, burnish our score lines there. So let's have a look now. So if you haven't got it quite right, it's not going to matter too much at this stage because you haven't done the burnishing fully. So that's now lined up on the back and lined up on the front. So now we're going to decorate it. So we'll do the back first. So all I've done is I've just done a little bit of stamping using the Dainty Delight stamp set, this one here. Now you can put as little or as much as you want on these back panels, depending on whether you like to write a lot on your cards or not. I'm not very big at writing a lot, so I'm happy to have lots of decoration. Okay, so now we can go to the front. And the designer paper I'm using is called Sunprints, which is in the annual 2022 annual catalogue. And it's got grey granite on this side and Night of Navy and Pacific Point on this side. So I'm going to do my side panels. There's a little bit of script on there. Not that you can actually read it very well, but it'd be nice to get it the right way up. Now that looks like it. So I'm actually going to put the grey granite side up on my side panels. And I'm just using the multi-purpose liquid glue, which I like to use for most things. It just gives you that little bit of extra time to move it around to line it up. Okay, so for my top and bottom pieces, I'm actually going to use the other side. And probably the longest part of this is cutting up your pieces and gluing it all together. But if you're using the back and the front of the same piece of designer paper, you only need a piece of 6 by 6. We'll get you all these pieces out. I'll glue that one down and we'll just put some mini dimensionals on the back of the other one. Some more thumbs. Okay. And then I've got some die cuts from the same Dainty Delight bundle. And I'm still using the Tombow multi-purpose glue, but I've just put some in a bottle with fine needle nose so that I can get a finer line of glue on there. I could have actually cut it out using with the adhesive sheets behind it, but I didn't think of that at the time, did I? All right, so we're just going to pop that there. Okay. It is in the envelope. Okay. Okay, now I've just got a little butterfly here. And this comes from the Sentiment Silhouettes pack. So he can just sit there. And these words are all from the Charming Silhouettes and the matching. So I'm actually going to pop that one on dimensionals as well. that up there. So there's our card, all done. So stand up like that. I'll have photos of it standing up, showing you in the blog post. And then to close it, all you're going to do is just, and you can just close one side and one the other, so you can hide your sentiment if you want, or you can turn it the other way and have it folding like that. So that's our first one. And for the envelope, I had another piece of the designer paper left over from the piece of 6x6. So I've stamped on the envelope and I'm just going to pop that across the bottom for a little bit of extra. Okay, all done. Let's get this glue off my fingers before we start the second one. So this one is probably, I've called it a gatefold pop-up. And again, the measurements will be on the blog post. Now, I have already done the cutting and scoring to make it a lot easier to show us. And then we're going to fold these two in. Now if I do it backwards this time, you can actually make sure that you've got those lined up to the centre before you give it a good crease. So they're going to open like that. These two are going to come like that. So if you see on this one, I'm just going to push those ones back and that one out. So I can just fold without a good crease. And then this one. So there's that sitting like that. And then we just fold it up like that. Okay, so this one I've used the designer paper also out of that 2022 catalogue called A Wash in Beauty. And we'll start off with the outside. And I'm going to use these two. And this one will just have a belly band on it. So because we've got the extra pieces of designer paper on this, on the outside, you're going to need more than a piece of 6x6 to do this. And again, it's also going to depend a lot on how your patterns line up as to where you want to put your different patterns. So that's our outside, so it's going to look quite pretty. And then we go to the inside. And we've got these two. That way, I think. And see the back of that one? We're actually going to use that for the little pieces at the top and bottom. So these little pieces here are the back of that. So they're just going to go like so. And then these middle pieces are actually the back of the piece that I've used on the outside there. So we've got 3 different designer papers on the inside here. But as you can see, I didn't want to make them too busy. So I should turn that one up that way. Now for the die cut pieces that I'm using for the labels, which are these, are from a set of dies called Beautiful Shapes. So you've got circles and yeah. Okay. So on this one, I've actually stamped something, and you can just do a little bit of writing. If you wanted to do any more, you could put another little panel on the back and add some more of your comments there. Use some normal size dimensionals for this one. Now, because it's inside and the card's going to be folded up, you don't actually want this layer to be too high. These dimensionals won't make it too high. And because I've got a lot on there, it'll still be easy just to write your little comment to people. So I'm just going to put that there. And then I've just got a couple of sprigs I've cut out with the bow punch. And I'm just going to pop them in down there. So I'll just put a tiny bit of glue on the back. And slide that down in between those dimensionals down there. So that when the card sits up, you've got something sitting up like that. And you still can write there. And yeah, I might pop that green, that one bit at the bottom too. Give it a little bit of extra. Okay, so that's going to look like that. So you want to make sure that any bits you have out aren't going to stick over this part, because that's going to be folded in. Okay, just get this one ready for our belly band. Now to make your belly band, I'm just going to get a long piece. It's going to be too long, but it's better off being too long to start with. So you're going to fold this over, but not too, you don't want to bend it too much. You just want to make it quite soft there, and then you're going to take the other one over. And you want to make sure but you can easily move that up and down. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to chop off, where are we at? There, and there. And then if we put a dab of glue there, and as you can see I can cut it straight, but that's not going to matter because before you really glue that down, again make sure that you've got plenty of room to get it on and off. I could probably go over a little bit more. And then when you're happy with that, you just use your bone folder. So that's going to move quite well. You see it gets stuck on there, you can just lift that over there. Okay, so our messy bit's there, not a problem, because it's going to be hidden with our front dimensionals. What I'm going to do this time is I'm actually going to put the dimensionals on here. And then I'll put them on the sides of here. Pop that down there. Then I've got another little green leaf that can just, I'll put glue on both sides. Put that all the way down in there. I'm just going to slip that off so I make sure I haven't actually glued it to the actual card. Let's give that a squeeze to glue it down. Okay, for the envelope, another piece that was left over from cutting off that back piece. And again, just decorate your envelope. Okay, so with the same, a couple of score lines and a couple of cuts, we've created two cards that are really quite different. So we've got this one, which when we open it up is going to sit like that. And we've called that a gatefold pop-up. And then our other one, which is our flat flap fun fold. I've seen it called lots of different things by different people with their different measurements, but that's what I'm going to call mine. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I'll have the all the measurements and some photos for you up on my blog post, and give me the thumbs up if you like it, and I'd love to hear if you've got any comments on it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.